Welcome back. This is Sunday Breakfast right here on ChannelOne TV. My name is Jude Duncan. Just gone by a conversation with our guest artist for the morning. We'll still come your way with our Miracles interview, but it's now time for health. And one of our favorite doctors, right? If not the favorite on the show. Doc, I almost called you Reverend. I promise. Dr. Oh God, Zakaria Adam. The conversation we had prior to this is just ringing in my mind the whole time. Doc, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
I like your new hairdo.
Thank you.
It looks really nice. I hope you are well.
Yes, I am.
You had a restful week?
Yes, I did.
Wow. All too soon.
Can't complain.
The month has come to an end. I want to believe so has cervical cancer awareness creation, or there's more happening.
No, it hasn't come to an end. It's a week, not week. It's a year-long advocacy, but then the highlights are usually in the month of January.
Okay.
So at least we have a dedicated period where we speak more about it, where we sensitize more women about it, and even our men. We encourage them to come on board to remind us even if we have forgotten about it, so that we get screened. If we have our girls who are between 9 to 14, we get them vaccinated, and then we continue the fight against cervical cancer.
So we are entering February with a vaccination drive.
Yes.
Wow.
So we'd want to talk a little more about the vaccination when it comes to HPV infections, and try and demystify some of the myths. I'm sure you heard about the rollout of the vaccines.
Yes.
Last year, yes, in October, thereabout. So that was one of the highlights for me for my year, because of the passion that I have with this advocacy when it comes to cervical cancer awareness and cervical cancer advocacy as well, because we have been fighting for it. We talk about screening, we talk about vaccination, but vaccination was one of the things that, as Ghana, at that time, you would have to privately go and then have the vaccines purchased and given you, as compared to other countries, like developed countries, where the vaccine is actually part of their medicals, and women are called to go get the vaccines done. So as part of the strategy by WHO to try and eliminate cervical cancer by 2030, vaccination is one of the key things. And I'm glad that finally Ghana has been part of the countries where the vaccine has started.
Is it free?
It's been rolled out, yes. So it's free. So it started in October. Actually, that's where most girls, it targeted girls between 9 to 14 to have the vaccine done. So vaccines, usually, the vaccine is against HPV infection. And as we have been speaking at length about cervical cancer, we mentioned that most of it, or greater than 95% of cervical cancer is linked to the HPV infection. You get it. And you have the high-risk ones like 16 and 18. That is associated with about 71% of it. So it's prudent that you have the vaccine. So the vaccine would protect, so it's protective, to protect you against the infection. And I'm sure people will say that, but why the age bracket 9 to 14? 9 to 14 because at that time they are sexually naive. So they haven't had predisposition to the infection. So in that state, their immune response, if you do give the vaccine, is highest. You get the maximum benefits at that age. But when you compare to other countries, you notice that some countries, some developed countries have the vaccine even to ladies who are at about age 26. Others would even extend it to about age 45. So dependent, but we have just started, and the target is for girls who are between 9 to 14 years who would get the vaccine, which is free of charge. So basically, what happened was that, this is a single dose vaccine that has been rolled out. And there have been 3 doses, 2 doses, and then a single dose. But research has shown that the efficacy for even a single dose is as good as even a 3 dose. And mind you, in 2013, there was actually a pilot that was done for about 13 different districts within Ghana. So the districts were, I think we had about 7 from Central Region and then 6 from Northern Region. And they used the 3-dose vaccine at the time. And the 3-dose means that if I do get the vaccination today, the next time I'll get my 2nd dose will be in a month's time. And then the last one will be in 6 months. Okay. So they started off and they had about 94.9% for the first dose. And then subsequently for the 2nd dose, when they checked when they started again, noticed that it had dropped to about 89.4. Okay. And then subsequently the last dose even dropped to about 74.5%. So this also just goes to buttress the point that if you have multiple doses, you may get people not completing the vaccination. So why not, now that we have the funding to vaccinate, why don't we do the single dose? And that has been taken by...
And it works just as effectively as the 3 doses?
Yes, it's as effective as the 3 doses. Okay. So that is what is available now. And it was a school-based program where you go into the schools, speak to the teachers. Teachers have been sensitized. They've been even spoken to be advocates as well, so that they help parents accept the vaccination and then get the vaccine done. So it was a school-based program, and that's a way to actually be able to get all the people or all the girls between that age bracket, so that they are vaccinated to help prevent cervical cancer in the future.
I know the regional spread is such that Accra is always the center, but is it nationwide?
Yes, it's nationwide. So it's a nationwide rollout of the vaccine.
Do you know the proportions to which each region?
I won't be able to tell off head now, but I think total uptake was about 84.5%.
That's quite high.
It's quite high, but we still have
a lot more.
More. And this is as a result of what? Some of the misconceptions.
Exactly. I was coming to that because I remember covering that story extensively.
Yeah.
And most of the pushback was coming from parents.
Yes.
Especially, rural areas.
Yeah.
They were pushing back.
Did you hear any of the misconceptions?
Yes, that the children would not be able to give birth in the future. It would destroy their wombs.
Yeah,
but science disproves all of that.
Yes,
right?
one of them actually that is going around is what she mentioned. That it's a way towards reduce our population.
Some people want to do better.
Yes, birth control. And then to cause infertility. And even what they were using is the fact that white girls. Why didn't we include the females? So we are.
Why didn't you include?
Why didn't you include the boys? Okay, but so once it's girls who have been targeted, and it's something related to a sexually transmitted infection, then it means that it's either one, the fact that it's going to cause infertility in this group of people, so that you reduce the population, and then also the fact that the funding is coming from outside. It's a way. It also gives that same.
Of course, I'm not even justifying this, right? But we know how some of these donor groups, right, and largely they were for soft power issues. So soft power in the sense that yes, they are helping you, an impoverished country, you a smaller country, but indirectly it fits into their national strategy. It fits into their national interest. So yes, USA was giving us money, but they were not giving us money because they loved us more than themselves. It was because they also want certain things from us. So I don't know, Doc, can you help us? You've done the research, right? You've gone through what the researchers have been saying. Is there sufficient
evidence,
research for our case on cervical cancer, maybe among blacks, among Ghanaians, sufficient enough to justify a lot of the actions we take within the space?
Okay, all right, yes, there is. So there's a lot of research, especially even with the hospitals. So once you come in, people are taking data on the cases that do come in, and that is how we are able to tell the prevalence and then also the incidence for each year that comes in. When it comes to this vaccine, after the uptake, records have been taken, and that is how come we know that after the October, these were the numbers that were covered. That's the 84.5%, leaving us with some percentage still needed to be covered. Also, aside, so then why did we have 84 and not 100%? And that's when you notice that some qualitative study was done to be able to interview people to know why we didn't get about 90 or 100% uptake. And it came out as misconceptions was one of them, the greatest of all. And one of the main misconceptions is that it's going out there that people think that when these vaccines, when girls take these vaccines, they are going to be infertile. It's a way to reduce the population. So they are coercing other parents to not give the consent for their ward to be vaccinated. Another is that they say that it is actually a license for the girls to start being promiscuous. So once they take these vaccines, it's a license that, okay, I can just go ahead and be sexually promiscuous. You get it? So that's another misconception, which I think is not. We need to debunk it, or we need to talk about it. Another could be that, okay, once I take the vaccine, it means that the vaccine will rather give me cancer. Okay, so it's another misconception that was going out there about the vaccine. And also, some people say that, why 9 to 14 years? Because if my ward is only 9 to 14 years, if I give her the vaccine, she's too young to have such a vaccine. So, and one of the things is that most of the parents did not give consent. So when you go to even the private institutions or the private schools, notice that one of the main stumbling blocks was the fact that most of the head teachers were demanding that parents need to sign consent before the vaccine is given to any of these children. And it also reduced the number of vaccine uptake across the country.
Did you see disparity in the vaccine uptake, right? So for example, if you compare some of the northern regions, Upper West, Upper East, as against Central Accra, do you see some significant disparities?
I would say that averagely the disparities may not be too significant. Most of them were just about 70, a little bit 60, then you come to 80. You get it. So the disparities were not that much that you see that, okay, in the northern regions, most of them took, as opposed to Accra.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, so it was all about the same.
In which areas do we see the incidents to be more prevalent?
Okay, so that I would say that we have a lot of data in the regions that do have the facilities to be able to screen and treat. So most of the regions that do have so talking about the teaching hospitals, talking about the regional hospitals, because they do have the capacity to be able to treat and then screen and treat, as opposed to, we mentioned VIA. For VIA, you can actually do it in even very low resource settings. So that you can actually do it, and it's a very good way to be able to screen the patients and then treat them. So even in Bato, there's one doctor there who actually is doing a lot of work there.
Doc, will there be a time where babies will there be a time where babies will be vaccinated? Or
well, we're
sticking to the age.
I think so. So mostly right now, what research is saying is that once you are sexually naive and looking at it, anecdotally, looking at it, is 9 to 14 years. That is where you would have, your immunity would be able to be optimized. You get it? So it's just like, I mean, the other vaccines that you take at birth and all of that. But for this, 9 to 14 years has been shown by research that is the best time. Possibly in the future, if more research is done, we may be able to look at that aspect as well. I'm
sure we'll continue this conversation tomorrow, next week. I'm eager to have you tomorrow, but I'm sure in the course of the week.
Yeah, and then also, I think we should just add that the boys as well in other countries are vaccinated between 9 to 14 years.
So there'll be a time that will be a time.
But what we are banking our hopes on is the fact that if you have a lot of the ladies having vaccinated, you may reach a point where we call something herd immunity. And in that sense, you wouldn't need to vaccinate the boys, and we would have been able to eliminate the cervical cancer as we are promising by 2030.
All right.
Thank you so much for your time this morning, Dr. Oum-Kalsoum Adam, a maxillofacial surgeon and also a public health advocate. An incredible job you've done in the month of January. Hopefully we see more of that as we start this month of February. And so we are grateful for your time this morning.
Thank you too.
We'll go on a quick break. When we are back, there's a big conversation with Miracles Aboagye, who is spokesperson for Dr. Bawumia following his very decisive win in the just ended NPP presidential primary. Don't go away.
You're welcome back to Sunday Breakfast right here on ChannelOne TV with me, Inosafo, and Jude Duncan. Now, to that all-important conversation, the NPP presidential primaries, where Dr. Bawumia was elected as the flag bearer for the party. He's going to garner support and unity for the next general election. Joining us via Zoom to have this important conversation on their strategy and their win is Miracles Aboagye, aide to Dr. Bawumia. Good morning, Miracles, and how are you doing? And congratulations to you, by the way.
Hi, good morning, and thank you. Thank you.
You look very tired. Talk to us about how yesterday went for you personally as spokesperson for the winning candidate.
Well, I mean, Jude, you are aware. I mean, we are usually in the same space. You know that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is one person that whatever he does right or wrong, especially in the social media space, Miracles will be part of the first two people who would either be blamed or be praised for. And so surely, if he's going into a contest, I have a huge responsibility to ensure that, first of all, I pray to my God, and secondly, I apply myself as much as I can to support the team, so that it goes well for him, especially considering our recent experience with 2024 elections. You could have imagined how today would have been if it didn't. So we give thanks to God Almighty, and then we give thanks to the amazing team, and the thousands and hundreds of thousands of party people across the country who dedicated themselves to make this happen, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
What does this win mean for the NPP moving forward, and for Dr. Bawumia as well?
You see, one of the things about primaries is to ensure that the party people, who are actually the drivers of the fortunes of the political party, elect the person that they are comfortable with and working with going into the future. And so it's very significant, extremely significant, that we have a leader that cuts across the country. If you look at yesterday's results, the significant departure from 2023 primaries is that in places where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia even lost in 2023, you see him winning. In some regions, he basically won all the constituencies. Western North, almost all the 17 constituencies out of 17. It wasn't like that in 2023. You go to areas like the Bono areas, Ashanti region, he won 45, out of 46. In 2023, it was 44 out of 46. In Greater Accra, he was sweeping the constituencies. Even in Central region, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia winning there. So the significance for me is that the appeal and the resolution by the party people that let's all rally behind him so that we can ride on the strength and the positive that his candidature brings to our party so that we can win elections quickly. It's quite resounding. And that for me is most important, because ultimately these are the guys who are going to be canvassing for votes across the country, the length and breadth, 40,000. We have police station executives in each of the 40,000 police stations that the EC has. And these are the people that this morning, as we are in Accra, they are in their various communities advocating for the MPP. And so if they don't participate and broadly accept you, then it becomes very difficult for you. And that for me is a very significant point from yesterday's contest.
Interesting. As a campaign, are you surprised by the performance of Dr. Brian Champon, first time entrant into the race, polled a significant number of votes in excess of 30,000? What do you make of his performance in the election?
No, we are not. I mean, anybody that has followed the MPP and pays close attention to the MPP, you realize that the MPP has an existing system within the party. It's not necessarily based on hatred for anybody, but the MPP is a party of ideologies. So mostly if you go to the constituencies and the polling stations, you'd realize that some people, even though we are in the same party, let's say we are 20 people, you'd always find some 7 people who always think alike and move together and act together. So we always knew that Brian Champon entering into the race was surely going to hurt Honorable Kennedy Agyapong more than Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, because the Mahamudu Bawumia supporters are more static. They are a bit more stable than the other candidates. And so I remember in some of our earlier conversations, I used to tell people that surely when you run for an election and you're going for another one, you are surely going to lose numbers. So you lose and gain. You lose and gain. But we knew that the supporters of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong were not necessarily loyalists of Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, but they were, especially what happened in 2023 when Alan Chamantin left, they all consolidated around him, and all of that. So once they get another alternative in Honorable Brian Champon, you could see them splitting, and that split was very, very obvious from the vote, because now Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the difference between him and the second place person has moved to 33%. If you compare to
2023,
what it was in 20. Exactly.
So the primaries can leave divisions among the delegates and among the party. Going forward, what steps will you be taking to unite the party? And I know it was one of the messages in Dr. Bawumia's speech.
Let me tell you something. MPP, there's an existing mantra in the party, unless you are not part of our party, that says that after competition is cooperation. And yesterday you heard from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's speech, and you also heard from all the other 4 contenders. The elections are over. The campaigning period are over. We no longer have competitions. We no longer have factions. Of course, it is barely 8 hours or so after the elections. People need time to adjust. There are some who will still be going to their campaign offices tomorrow to try and reorganize it. But give yourself a month. All the campaign offices will be shut down. One MPP, it will be one political party focused on executing a formidable campaign against the National Democratic Congress. Trust the MPP to come together. The MPP is a party of ideas. And sometimes you may see us compete fiercely, but once the competition is over, the understanding is that democracy wins, and democracy says that this is where the majority of the people are. And so everybody would rally around the leader, and they will move on going into the future. So there are no factions. We are going to do whatever we have to do to make sure that the few outliers that may come up would all be brought on board. Let's give ourselves some 1 to 3 months, you would not even notice that, barely few months ago, we were throwing jabs at each other. You would not notice.
This unity you talk about, does it include some party stalwarts who have been agreed by some decisions by the party, right? And I'm referring to the likes of Professor Frimpong Boateng, the likes of Dr. Arthur Kennedy. Do you foresee a move to bring them into the fold of the party?
Let me be very blunt with you, and I must put this on record, and you would have noticed that the MPP is a political organization made up of membership and made up of rules. One of the things that the MPP rules abhors is anti-party tenets, anti-party activities, anti-party attitude. That is against the rule. When you are part of an organization, you are mandated to ensure that the organization is always highlighted in positive lights. Now, if you continue at all times to put the organization in very bad light, you forfeit your membership of that organization. And the MPP, as has been put out since yesterday, is going to be ruthless in the application of that rule. The Ghanaian people are looking up to us to provide very credible opposition to the government. And we don't have time to babysit. There is absolutely no time to babysit. Every party member between now and the next few days is mandated by the constitution of the party to come around the candidate and follow the rules of the candidate of the party.
Right.
If you refuse to do that and you continuously throw the party in bad light in public, you are going to forfeit your membership. And so you are aware that the party has already taken action towards some of the utterances that Professor Frimpong Boateng made. As for Arthur Kennedy, he hasn't participated in any MPP activity in the past 12, 15 years. He only moves around with the name member of the party. But I'm sure there's a new order, there's a new leadership, and you can trust Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to crack the whip where it's needed.
Interesting.
And pat people on the shoulder needed to make sure that we have a united, formidable party going into the future. But nobody is going to be allowed to continuously throw our party in very bad light. Deliberately, that will not be allowed.
Interesting. Miracles, let me just still stick with you on the unity points, because you get a sense that it was the main crux of Dr. Bawumia's acceptance speech yesterday. Moving on from some of these party styles, we also know that in this just ended campaign, some really vile things were said. I remember even speaking to you, and you mentioned to me that the former vice president was not happy during the peace pact because of how he had been turned into, quote, a punching bag. What is the reconciliation process going to look like? Are we to expect other candidates to come, or is the former president vice president, I beg your pardon, going to extend an olive branch, really? What should we expect in terms of reconciliation?
All have been done yesterday. We have serious work to do.
Right.
All have been done yesterday. Every reconciliation was done.
Oh, technology has failed us. But I'm sure we'll work the lines, try and get...
There are so many more questions.
That ends from there. They came to the declaration. They all gave their statements and speeches at the declaration.
Right.
And that's it. That's it. The reconciliation has been done. There's nothing more to belabor. We're not going to belabor a unity conversation. The unity conversation is ended. It has been done. It has been done emphatically yesterday. And so I think that all of us should accept that reconciliation and unity has been done. In terms of commentary and comments that people made during the contest, Jude, listen, when you're going into a competition with people, there are 2 or 3 categories. There are those who believe that the only way they can look good is to make their opponent look bad. And so their way of doing that is to continuously, run down the opponent and say something. So that they say a lot of things that are untrue, a lot of things that they don't mean, and all of that, with the hope and anticipation that they will use that to derail you. But you don't take it to heart.
Right.
And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, as you know,
So, Miracles, we lost him briefly. I'm sure he'll join back again so we can finish the conversation. Ending on the point that
they have
Dr.
a lot of work to
Bawumia
do.
doesn't take these attacks on him rather personal. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, Eno.
I mean, well, yesterday, unity resonated mostly amongst all the candidates in their speeches. I think we have Dennis back. I can hear him.
Hello, Miracles. Yes, we lost you briefly, but it seems you are back on the line. So you can
end your point, yeah.
Yeah, finish up your point you're making.
So I was saying that in competition, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia acknowledges that once he gets into a competition, people would come at him, not necessarily with things that they mean or things that are true. But some people feel that when they are in competition with you, the best way they can outrun you is to throw dirt at you. But he takes none of this to heart. Right. And once the victim is not taking these things to heart, then there's nothing like an issue for there to be a reconciliation. This morning, as we speak, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is leading the party irrespective of what you said against him, whether negative or otherwise, during the campaign. None of those things matter this morning. We are sure and we know that most of the things that the other competitors may have said against him are not things that they meant. They were things that they were hoping delegates will latch on and use it to vote against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I mean, you remember that during the campaigning period, one of the key things that our opponents used against us was that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia conceded too early in the 2024 elections. Why did he concede before the EC declared? And that if it was me, I would not have done that. And that led to the loss of the MPP. But yesterday, you saw all of them concede before EC declared. It means that what they were saying at the time, it's not something that they truly meant.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was something that they were hoping that delegates would latch on to vote against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So if you know people who say things that they don't truly mean against you, you don't take it to heart. Right. And so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has taken nothing to heart. And from our side also, we are saying that if in the course of the campaign, we may have said something, we have done something that may have stepped on your toes, affected you anyway, we apologize. We are one family, we are one blood, we are one people. We are together now. Let's execute a common goal.
Interesting.
Right. Miracles, we know that there's a lot of work to be done, and you have rightly mentioned. So how soon will the national campaign team be rolled out?
Calm down. There's a lot to do. Even as we speak, we're actually now going to organize our party from the base. So what you should rather be expecting now is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as the leader of the party, working closely with leadership and elders of this party to organize the party from the base. This was actually one of the bases for the early elections. Yes. The idea was that get a leader who would rally all of us around him to reorganize the party. So the focus now is going to be having our internal party leadership elections, the polling station, constituency, regional, national elections, and what have you. Then we know that we have a full complement of the party now, ready together with the flag bearer, and then we'll be good to go going into the future. Campaign for 2028 elections is 3 years from now. And so when it comes to campaign team, we are not there yet at all. We should expect it in about 2.5 years, 3 years from now.
You asked Eno to calm down, but let me just push some further. Following Brian's rather impressive showing, according to some analysts, conversations are rife, at least on social media, about how this places him in an advantageous position as running mate. What are your thoughts around such comments?
I don't know. The selection of the running mate is purely the prerogative of the candidates in consultation with National Council.
Right.
There are several criteria that comes to play. One of them does not include becoming second or third in the contest. But all the candidates, all the aspirants who run with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia are people who could actually, in their right, actually be running mates. But not because they ran with him and they were second or third or fourth. That's not part of the criteria. But it is a prerogative of the candidates in consultation with the National Council, and when the time is due, be rest assured, the indicators would be used to ensure that the right person, the best person, is selected to run with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to give us the outcome that we want as a party.
Interesting. Miracles, also help us here. there are also concerns, right, about how the party approaches polls going into an election. In this one, we saw some polls play out, others didn't play out. What will be your response to, some leading pollsters in the country and the work they did in relation to the presidential primary?
Our stance towards polls have always been public, and I've always spoken to it. We receive polls, we work with the polls, and I've spoken with you on several occasions on this, that when we receive the polls, we pay very much attention to the commentaries and the text in the polls. We use the information that the pollsters bring us and plug it into our strategies to adjust, to reflect what the people are saying. That for us is the most important thing about polls, because see, we as a political party, we also know magicians to know which of the pollsters are true or not. Look at what has happened. We received, in fact, a day before the elections, I had received 14 polls.
14?
In my 14.
Wow.
Yes, from 14 different posters, including international organizations who also run polls, don't necessarily publish, but share with all the candidates. All of them, we worked with all of them. All of them. It's not only the ones you see being discussed in public that are polls that we receive. 14. I'm sure in these elections, we were talking to just about 3 or 4 posters, but we received 14. And all of these 14 polls, we have a team that analyzes these polls, go through the details, pick the salient issues in there, and then we look at where we believe strongly we are not doing so right based on the feedback, and we use it to improve our strategies. Because we will not be able to know which of these 14 polls will actually turn out right if we are going to pay attention to just the numbers.
Yeah, interesting.
The numbers. We will not be able to do that. So it is the information therein that is important to us. And trust us, we take polls very, very, very seriously.
Interesting.
Because if somebody says I'm talking to 10,000 people, and that person says I'm talking to 13,000, 2,000, 3,000, they may all not be the same people they are talking to. And so we aggregate the issues and we make sure that we factor it into our strategies. So we take polls very, very seriously.
Your point has been well made. Another quick question, and Eno has a few more before we wrap up this conversation. The General Secretary, when he spoke at the outdooring of the new flag bearer, said that the party had been justified in its decision to do the early primary. Will you say, indeed, there's been some justification for it, considering the rather smooth and relatively transparent process some analysts say the election was conducted? And how does this affect the whole process of now building up from the base in terms of polling station executive elections, regional constituencies elections? Wow. So we lost Miracles on the line again.
I lost you
Yes.
briefly. I don't know if I'm back.
Yes, yes.
So,
let me just ask the question again. It was in relation to the General Secretary's comment on how justified the party has been with its decision to hold the primary early, right? There was some pushback. Now, my question is, how does this now affect other elections from the base? So from polling station executives, constituency executives, regional executives, and even national executives, right? What should we expect going into these contests?
I was clapping earlier when you were making that point, and the clap goes to the National Council. For that individual who came up with that in the National Council meeting, he has done the New Patriotic Party a lot of good, and we should go find a minute and look for the proposer and give him a citation.
Really?
This morning, I'm sure we'll be having headlines of what somebody has said against Bawumia, somebody has said against Kennedy.
I need him to make this point very seriously, right? But his point is that we need to applaud whoever came up with that decision. And I asked the question.
Run up.
Yeah, Miracle, go on. A few technical challenges there.
My God.
I know, Miracle. Yeah, Miracles, are you on the line?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, please just start the point again for us.
So I was saying that I am going to lead the young people in this party to go look for that individual who made a proposal at the National Council meeting for the early elections of our flag bearer. Dude, listen, in the MPP, so long as there is a vacancy, trust the MPP to compete till the vacancy is filled. That is who we are as a political party. Our party is not a party that individuals control. Our party is a party of competing ideas. Everybody has a plan. Everybody has a strategy. And so as long as you leave that vacancy, nobody will rest because everybody feels that they can win. And so for that decision by National Council to ensure that we let our flag bearer early is to bring calmness and peace into our party. And you agree with me that that has been achieved.
Interesting.
And with that achieved, all we have to do now is to now go back and take our time and organize the party. See, if you go and organize the polling station executives at a time when the flag bearership was vacant, there will be fights and battles at the police station by the flag bearer hopefuls who believe that they can win flag bearership. They will go and medal there. They will go and medal in the constituency elections. They will go and medal in the regional elections. And they will medal in the national elections. Now it's settled. You know that no matter what you do, there's no contest for you to go around. It will give the party a lot of peace to take our time and organize our party without unnecessary meddling by people who believe that they could hold a certain position if those elections are held in their favor.
Miracles, there were several prophecies and spiritual declarations during the campaign period. Do you think these prophecies and declarations help or mar the situation?
I am a Jesus-believing Christian. I believe in miracles. I still believe that the miracles that we read in the Bible do still happen. And I so strongly believe that God still speaks to his people through prophets. I'm a believer. I have no doubt about that. But I also believe in the Bible that tells me that there are false prophets and there are true prophets. And the Bible says that we should always pray for discernment to be able to decipher between the false prophets and the true prophets. That is why I do not speak against any prophets, because I wasn't there when God was speaking to them. When prophets speak, I listen, but I also pray to God. And I always knew that some of the prophets were right and some were wrong. But Bible does not tell me. My Bible does not tell me to call out men of God, because sometimes God even decides to punish his own people for some misconduct. That does not necessarily mean that those people are not men of God. There are several examples in the Bible where God punished his own children. And so there may be a prophet who really, truly sees and hears from God. But maybe in this particular instance, he may have offended God and God said, I would embarrass you. I would prove to you that I am your God so that you listen to me more. That doesn't mean that maybe he didn't even hear anything, but maybe he heard the false voices. But others also heard the true voice. There are prophets who predicted, right, that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would win. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has won. Like I said, I wasn't there, but I believe in prophecies and I believe in miracles. My advocacy and my admonishment to our men of God is that, please, if you know God has not spoken to you, and even that, Jude, apart from that, if God doesn't tell you to go and announce, rush into announcing. When God gives you the prophecy, he asks instructions. If you read the Bible, anytime God reveals something to any of the prophets, sometimes he will say, go and tell them that. There are days also that these prophets would also pray to God, and God will simply reveal to them what the issues are without necessarily giving them instructions to go and tell. But if you're a prophet and God speaks to you, and now after saying what God has told you, you even begin to do more of the physical work than miracles, then there's a problem.
Hey, that's an interesting theological, discussion, right?
Yes, yes.
I didn't know you're a lay pastor. But thank you for.
I'll come to your church and come and preach for you to see.
No problem. We'll be waiting for you. Miracles, thank you so much for your time. But
always a pleasure.
Before we go, what should you expect? What's the next line of action, right, for Dr. Bawumia? Is anything lined up? Is he meeting party people? Is he going on a thank you tour? Should you expect anything now in the short term after his rather decisive win?
We have a very long 3 years. And so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's program is going to be a very calm, deliberate, small group, targeted approach. Yesterday he mentioned it in his speech. And so there's no haste, there's no rush. For now, let's give him a little time. We'll reprogram ourselves and we'll share with you what the next line of actions are.
Reverend Miracles, Dennis Aboagye.
Thank you. Thank you. Right in the spirit. Yeah, in the spirit. Thank you.
We'll kind of pay tight, don't worry.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
All right, so you heard there, Dennis Miracles Aboagye, spokesperson for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is the 2028 MPP flag bearer. Did anything spike your interest in the conversation?
Oh, a lot. Them looking for whoever, they should thank for preaching the decision to hold the flag bearership elections early, as well as his thoughts on prophecies. It was very profound.
What do you make of the running mate conversation? You think it's too early?
Well, it's never too early. I'm sure people have already started lobbying for that position, and so we wait anticipatedly with bated breaths to see who the MPP will choose. Because he kept saying 3 years for it. I think it's just tomorrow. I know. So, yeah. We'll be right back with more conversations. If you missed any part of this, go on ChannelOne TV on YouTube and you can rewatch this interview that we had with Dennis Miracles Aboagye. We'll be right back. Don't go away. You're welcome back to Sunday Breakfast right here on ChannelOne TV with me, Eno Safo, and Jude Duncan. We're talking nutrition, and we're speaking with Ena Densua, a registered dietitian, Densua diet consult, and medical training. We haven't seen her this year, so it's exciting to see her here. Happy New Year, Ena. How are you?
Many happy returns. I'm very fine. How are you too?
I'm very well, thank you. We've missed you on this set.
I miss you too.
And today we're talking nutritional benefits of ginger. So if you have any questions or any concerns, you know what to do. Pick up your phone, send that message to the WhatsApp number 0204-447-033. 0204-447-033. And ginger.
Yeah. How do you use your ginger?
To steam my meat, or sometimes when I cough or have some, my mother will be like, add honey and chew it. It doesn't taste nice. But, I mean, you do it because you want to clear your throat. That's how I use my ginger.
Jude, how do you use your ginger?
Not too different from Eno. I chew when I have like a chesty cough. Or any, usually cough.
So most of the time, if we don't have cough, we are always using it in cooking. If you want to season your meat, even your fish, whatever, even your gravies, when there is no ginger, you think something is missing. So we are used to the culinary benefits of ginger. But ginger has a lot of medicinal properties. And today we want to highlight on that. The flavor alone helps alleviate cold, helps you to reduce the symptoms. For me, if I have cold, in fact, the past 2 weeks, I realized stress. So I hardly get cold. But the last 2 weeks, I had a strong one. Even when COVID was dealing with us, by God's grace, I didn't cough. By this time, it was terrible. And so I was always having my hot water bottle with us. So we will come back to how to use it. But we want to understand the medicinal benefit, the herbal benefit, why it's good for our health. And I am highlighting today on gut health. gut health. So ginger helps with gastric emptying. When we say gastric emptying, the time that there's food that you have eaten would take to move from your stomach to small intestines. Ginger will help speed up that time, okay? So that it means it has to improve digestion and for it to be ready to move. And when it has gone down the stomach, the antrum, it helps with the contraction of the antrum. So then it speeds up the movement from the small intestine, from the stomach to the small intestine. When that happens, it means that you are preventing constipation. You are preventing bloating. You know, sometimes you eat and you feel so bloated. For a long time after eating, you still feel full. Yeah. Okay. So when you eat, you know how to add ginger to the food you are eating. You are able to deal with that. In that case, when it's also, when the food stays in the tummy for that long, it makes you feel nausea easily. So in dealing with nausea, for that most of us know, you have to get ginger. But how? Some people, just after every meal, they are bloated, they feel nausea, and they feel so much discomfort, the heaviness. I have a patient who will tell me, I ate since morning and I feel too heavy, I feel uncomfortable. He met me, or the consultation was around 12 something. He was supposed to eat lunch at around that time, but he doesn't even feel good to think about food. And some, after a while, you see that they will be belching a lot, so they have issue with acid reflux. Right. Okay, so when you know how to combine ginger to your food, with a patient or a healthy individual with that symptom, it aids digestion and then speeds up the emptying of the stomach, so that you'll be relieved of these. Okay, so we're talking about bloating, we're talking about constipation, we're talking about nausea. So if you are a patient with functional dysphagia, you will see that adding ginger to your food will really help you. Apart from that, you would say ginger also has the properties that repairs and protects the stomach lining, okay, so that it protects the stomach against ulcer. Normally, people with stomach ulcer are not able to tolerate ginger. But if you know how to eat it the right way or use it the right way, you will enjoy the relief that comes from ginger. You would be a patient dealing with ulcer, but you will see that the ginger will not give you pain. It will rather helps relieve the pain. But pay attention to your body, okay? Some patients, when it has become worse, when the wound has become big, they are unable to tolerate ginger, okay? And so ginger has anti-inflammatory properties as well. It has antimicrobial properties, but like I said, today we are dealing with ginger and gut health. Okay. So for gut health, when you really want to relieve yourself from bloating and then from nausea and from constipation and have the pleasure of enjoying lightness after eating, not going through that heaviness, then you have to know how to use your ginger. So how do we use our ginger? Normally when we have the ginger tea, I think later in the month we will have a couple of tea. We will have tea demonstration, you see that ginger is playing a role in almost all herbal teas.
Okay.
So if we say tea, we are not talking about Milo or Lipton, but herbal tea where you brew ginger and take it early morning. It has a soothing effect early morning. Okay, so normally we will not take it alone. We will add either pepper or mintia to it. But having it in mind that you are preparing your guts for the day and you are repairing, you are helping relieve yourself of any discomfort later in the day, should help you, even if you don't like ginger, to try a cup of ginger in the morning. Then whilst you are eating, you should have a small teacup of ginger tea so that you drink it along your food, so it aids with digestion. There are some meals, I remember most often when we go to the chop bar, there's always grinded ginger. Okay, enjoy that. Add the freshness of the ginger to it. We would say you have steamed the meat and stuff with the ginger, so there's ginger in the food already, but adding it last to the food helps you enjoy the food benefits. Okay, so you have to, sometimes when you are even eating your gravy, you can enjoy chopped ginger on the table so that you are enjoying. It has a nice flavor, unless you are the type that doesn't like the flavor of ginger at all. But the flavor of ginger adds some taste to food that you cannot resist, okay, if you know how to use it. So now we are encouraging ginger tea with milk, with meals, instead of juices with meals, instead of soda with meals. Whatever meal you are eating, especially if you are an individual that deals with bloating and acid reflux and even morning sickness as a pregnant woman, motion sickness, some individuals, yes.
I'm guilty.
Just ensure that you have ginger in your water, you have warm water bottle with you, so that every meal you're taking, even if you have to drink water and you have ginger in there, it helps you reduce the symptoms, okay? But ginger being very good, if you don't also use the right quantity, it can be harmful to you. So if you are a patient on blood blood thinner, okay, you have to discuss with your doctor, because ginger will thin the blood further. Okay, it's a natural blood thinner as well, anticoagulator. So you have to ensure that if you are on a medication that thins your blood, you discuss with your doctor before you take it, so that you don't end up bleeding too much or having issues with too much thinning of your blood. And the right amount for the whole day is 5 grams. So I will try next week when I'm coming, I will make sure I chop it and get you to see the quantity. So that you don't say because it is good, you go to the chop bar and you take a table spoon. A tablespoon is more than 5, okay, but a teaspoon is 5. So you can chop and have a teaspoon in your water for the whole day, and that is enough. You can refresh as and when. Then, how do we use the ginger? Most of the time we are peeling.
Yes.
So this type has not been washed well. The peel has 30% more antioxidants.
Really?
Than the flesh. Okay, so the peel is very, very important. It is more rich. It will add more nutrients. It is nutrient dense. Okay, so you take your time and wash it. Taking your time and washing also doesn't mean you should use soap. Yes, because some people are washing even fish with soap. They will say the oil is too much, so they are bathing the fish. So don't use soap, just use water. If you have a sponge that you have dedicated to your root vegetables, then we know that that sponge is only for that, where you wash all the sand and make sure.
How about vinegar?
Vinegar at the last stage is okay, but removing the sand. And when you buy ginger, please don't buy the washed ones, because sometimes they wash it inappropriately. So you are buying contaminated ginger. Buy the sandy or dirty one, so that you come home, take your time and wash it yourself, so you can enjoy the full benefits of ginger. Okay,
And
so
what about the powdered ones?
the powdered ones are good, but the fresh
Are better.
is better. Okay, everything is intact. And powdered one, if they dried it at a good place, you are sure of food safety. Otherwise, it leaves questions. So in between, like having a baby who has folds and you have to take care and remove and bath the baby well, same way ginger has lots of folds, so you have to take your time and remove all the sand, remove it very well, and make sure it is very, very clean before you can chop and add to your food. So if you have cleaned it very well, you don't need to peel. In fact, you do not need to peel if you want to enjoy the full benefit. However, if time, because we say half a loaf is better, if you don't have the time and you want to peel, once in a while, peeling is okay. But for full benefit, let's wash it well 3 times, like I always said. But for ginger, you might want to do 6 times because of the sand. That is how I taught my little girl. So 6 times by the time again. And it shouldn't stay in the water for too long. Some of us, because we want to wash it very well, you can soak it overnight. By the time you are throwing that water away, that water
has all the benefits.
Is so nutritious because most of the nutrients has leached in there and you are throwing away. So just under the tap and trying to get the sand off is very, very important, and enjoy the full benefit for the. So the antioxidants you are throwing away in the peel is very important for your body, for your skin, for your immune boosting, so you need it over there. And then also, if you have to add it to your food, like we have said, to your meals, for culinary taste and benefits, it is good to start with some amount and later enjoy the freshness. If you want to have a week and say, this weekend I want to buy ginger in bulk, prepare and store, it is also allowed. So you will wash it very well, then cut, blend, and do ice cube with it. That is the paste. After you have filled your cube tray, you clean film it very well, and you put them in your deep freezer. Very good. So that anytime you want to have a ginger tea or even use your ginger, you just thaw and take some and add to your food. So having the powder one is also good, but for full benefits, the fresh juicy one, it's very, very good. We would say now ginger has become very, very expensive. You might buy this for about 50 cedis. Yes, it is not in season. Yes, this can, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't go for ginger. When I bought a small basket for 400 cedis last Friday. I said, what? Last December, I bought a sack that was for 2,500. And so I've been using, and when I wanted to, wow, that 400, we used to buy it around 100 cedis. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't use. So now there are other substitutes for our sobolos and stuff that we use. Okay, there is ginger leaf. The leaf gives you the same flavor. Okay,
But does it give you the same benefits?
No,
Okay.
not the full benefit. The root is richer.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to enjoy the richness and the benefits for your gut, and you know, stomach pain can be so uncomfortable. Having that bloating experience is so terrible.
Right.
So it's one that can relieve you. You can easily go for, but preserve it well.
Right.
Leaving it on the counter for it to have molds and stuff doesn't make it safe.
Okay.
So when you buy it, store it at a good place. Even if you are not ready to wash, just make sure it's at a place that doesn't get contaminated. Sometimes in the kitchen you'll be looking for and it's scattered everywhere. It is food that you want to use the peel. That's why people easily peel, so that they remove the dirt. But if you save it or store it well, you do not have to peel. Ginger is very, 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 very nutritious. Even when it comes to cancer treatment, most treatments, you want to. Today we are only paying attention to the gut. Next week, when we come to other conditions that we use ginger for, if you have a pregnant woman who has a morning sickness, if you have a cancer patient who is going through chemo, if you have a healthy person with just motion sickness or bloating, you can easily help them reduce the symptoms. Sometimes it will not stop. It doesn't have to replace medical treatments, but it helps manage it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that will be for next week.
Yes.
Can you also take us through how to make ginger juice? I see a lot of people add it to their juice, right? So hopefully next week.
Okay.
Can we prepare some on the show?
Ginger juice?
Yeah.
Oh yes, we can. In fact, next week we will do other conditions with ginger. Next week I'm not here. Then next week,
you have committed already, please. You have committed.
The next time I come, we will do other conditions. Then
the following
one we will do teas
Okay.
and juices with ginger.
Amazing.
Yes.
And it's always a pleasure having you. Where can we reach you? Social media, right?
Yes, social media, the Dietitian in your kitchen. I'm on Instagram. For now, that is where I am.
Interesting. But you can also sneak in at the
37 Military Hospital.
Absolutely.
Officers Mess. Even when you come to 37 Military Hospital, I am with the dietitian.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time and for your insights. So you have the Ena Densua, who runs the Densua Diet Consult, right? They prepare meals, they advise, they also teach, on best practices when it comes to health, diet, and nutrition. We'll take a quick break. When we are back, there's more right here on Sunday Breakfast. Don't go away. Welcome back. This is Sunday Breakfast right here on ChannelOne TV. What a show it's been this morning. Starting off the news review, conversation on MPP. We had Gina Bankram also pass through with an amazing, gospel ministration. Thereafter, we had our doctor in studio on vaccinations for cervical cancer. Of course, we had the big conversation with Dennis Miracles Aboagye, spokesperson for Dr. Bawumia. All of what I've said is on YouTube. Go there, jump on the conversation, share the link. It's a very important part. Right, it's now time for sports. Gabi Ofe, aka the weatherman.
You said that people for sure.
Oh, they for
Share the link.
You know the funny thing? Friday, somebody can ask me, say, a song I sing for Panorama.
Oh yeah, I saw somebody also asking me the same thing.
But were you on Panorama on Friday?
Yeah, he came briefly.
Briefly. Yeah, I had to go to
Because
church.
we had a
but
discussion.
There was
Said you
somebody
need to
I met
church.
yesterday at Prince of Peace International where I was reporting from. He was like, but I thought you were a sports guy. What are you doing here? I challenged my national issue. So
Everybody has been deployed.
yeah.
Sports
In
is
fact, the
part
person
of
listening to
politics.
the show
The Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, I'm reporting on elections. Like,
elections.
There's on dissonance.
Yeah,
no, but there's a connection, right?
Yeah,
you know.
there's always.
Very important.
Yeah. Were you surprised by the results, though?
No, I wasn't surprised. I mean, I would want to speak from where I was reporting. Per what I was hearing on the ground, I think a lot of people were confident that it will go for Bawumia, right from the start. So before you get to where the voting was happening, people outside were very confident. But then you could also tell that there was that slight competition, or there was that people who also belonged to Ken's camp. And we're also confident that Ken could do some good numbers. And I think he showed in the final result that the numbers were decent. I think he showed. So I wasn't too surprised.
Interesting. Let's come to
our home, AFCON.
There's so, you know, for the first time in so many years, right? And AFCON ends and there's so much talk around the competition. I've never seen that before. And to the extent that the latest talk was from Patrice Motsepe, who is the CAF president, released a statement. I think that was to buttress what CAF as a body had released early on regarding the verdict or the punishment handed to Senegal and Morocco. And I think you could tell from where Motsepe is coming from, I mean, his role as CAF president, that he didn't like certain things that happened in the final in Rabat. And as a president of the Confederation of African Football, he would want to put out his word, or what he made of whatever had happened. So I was not too surprised with that statement, but I said on our radio show that I wasn't too surprised. I think Eno also asked me about some of the punishments handed over to the two countries. I think that there's still a lot more that could have been done, especially with a section of the Senegalese fans who were ripping seats and attacking the Moroccan officials. I thought that some of the fines or the punishment should have been handed to certain individuals, because we had a lot of footage circulating, and CAF should have liaised with the Senegalese Football Federation to help them fish out
those individuals
so that they would also feel it. Because yesterday I saw a statement again from Senegal saying that the fine handed to the supporters, I mean the $300,000, is the federation that will take care of it. And so what does it say? It means that the federation is more like telling the Senegalese fans that you can always go to a venue and misbehave, and then the federation will take care of it. Hand it to the individuals so that they'll feel it. When they go back to Dakar and they have to represent the football federation or the football team at a tournament, they will know that certain supporters have been handed lifetime ban, and it will serve as deterrents to other people who would go there and have that try to attempt that misbehavior. So that was what I wasn't too happy with when it came to the verdict. And then CAF themselves contradicted themselves with a laser thing. They fined Morocco for the laser they put on, what's his name, the Senegalese goalkeeper in Edouard Mendy. But if you go to the semis, they did the same thing to Stanley Nwabili of Nigeria. In fact, they threw banana peels at him. So I don't support that idea that CAF only looked into the incident that happened in the final. Do you know what it means? It means that if that whole thing did not happen, what had happened in the semis would be swept under the carpet.
Right.
I mean, in terms of the laser thrown at the goalkeeper in the semis and all that banana, the towel stealing people, they started in the semis. So if the thing didn't repeat again in the finals, what had happened in the semis would have gone under the carpet. And that doesn't speak well of CAF as a body. So I think that they should have looked at the thing very, in a bigger picture, take it back to what had happened in the semis. And even before the final, the Senegalese Football Federation started giving CAF some tips as to what Morocco will do with them. If you paid attention to the AFCON, every Moroccan and even the officials, the word that was running through everybody's lips was that the AFCON trophy is theirs.
Yeah.
And so they'll do everything to win it. Okay, so if I have my way to speak to anybody who was on that DC team, I would have told them that, look, they should have extended that investigation into looking at it from the semis to the finals. But they have done the job. I hope that no country would attempt this from Africa because the fines handed to the two countries were unprecedented. It's never happened before.
Right.
Senegal taking $615,000.
That's a lot of money.
$1,000, and then Morocco $415,000. In fact, Senegal said that they spent $9,600 at the AFCON.
Wow.
And the prize money for the AFCON itself is $10,000. So they have just what? $4,000.
Literally no money left.
$400,000, yes. So it means that negative what in their
Balance,
bank.
yeah.
But I think, yeah, it has to be done. Yeah.
Do you think we should, after what we've seen from the AFCON, should we organize anything like that in Morocco again?
Oh, yes.
We should?
Yeah, we should. You
Why?
see, you can't fault the nation, Morocco as a nation, to have one of the best sporting infrastructure. You can't take it away from them.
True.
They have done it. They have earned it. They have competed in tournaments and have gathered whatever they've been getting at the tournament with heavy backing from government
The
to
king.
get to the monarchy, in fact, to get to the level they've reached. You can't take that away from them. But what I don't condone is that, and I was telling you the story, that in 2030, when they host the World Cup, they are doing it together with Portugal and Spain. In fact, there was an ongoing battle between Morocco and Spain as to who would host the final in their country. Morocco said that they were building 150,000 capacity stadium to host only the final. And with what has happened in Morocco, Spain actually stood on that, and FIFA has handed the final to Spain to host the 2030 World Cup. Because now
the final.
Yes, the Europeans will look at what Morocco have done to Senegal and say that if Spain and Morocco is playing in Rabat, the Moroccan ball boys can do the same thing. And the FIFA cannot say anything about it because there's a precedent.
Yeah.
So that final is yet to be confirmed. Those are the reports that are coming. That final has been handed to Spain. So I don't think that we should strip them hosting any major tournament. I only think that they should not repeat these again. That's what I think about it.
Amazing. Let's move to some other Premier League action, right? So whilst we were doing MPP primaries, Premier League was also happening in earnest.
Yeah.
Is Liam Rosinoir or Rosinoir?
If you want to go by what you just said is what he said. That's how his name is pronounced at when he said it at a press conference. But if you want to go by, I don't even want to say if you want to go by the way the English pronounce it, but the way the eye sees it, it's Rosinia.
Rosinia.
Yeah, but he says it's Rosinoir. So
he's English, but that's a French name.
That's a French name. So if you want to go by the French, it's what you said. But English is Rosinia. But he's called Tactical Rose.
Tactical Rose.
Anti-Rose.
No, if we're doing Rosé. Anyway, Charlie, is it a guy? 6 games, 5 wins, 2-0 down, 3-2 win against West Ham yesterday. Upgrade on Maresca?
Not yet. But I think in that game yesterday, he did one thing Maresca wouldn't have done. Maresca would have waited till about 80th minute, and then he'll bring on Malo Gusto, and nothing will change, and Chelsea will go on to lose. But Liam Rosinia, one thing I don't like him. I have to be honest about it.
Why don't you like him?
I know it's harsh. And this is why, when I say I don't like him, not like I hate him, but I don't like that when you look at his body of work he's done as a coach. He hasn't done enough to be at where he is. But that narrative can hold, because now when you look at the new crop of managers that are coming, you cannot really speak much about their body of work. And say that, okay, you expect maybe Jude Duncan to go through the ranks, start from a lower league and then build himself. When you look at Jose Carlo Ancelotti, they started all of that. And the second thing is that he's English. The English folks will do everything for him to see him succeed. Yesterday, as soon as Chelsea beat West Ham, the stats were that he's now the 4th English manager to have gone 5 games in the PL without losing. So they've started already. And so the English media would not ask certain questions they would want to ask it. If it's an Italian or it's a Spaniard or a foreigner, they would do...
The scrutiny is more.
It's more. The agenda and all of that would have happened. You get it. In fact, let me take you back. When Maresca was coming in, the English media questioned that, who is Maresca? He's an Italian. He's not done enough. He's coming from Leicester City. He's guided a championship team to winning, and it's different. So I'll take you back to the question you asked. I think that yesterday he did one of the very big things or good things I credit him for. And that win yesterday, we should credit him because he realized that Chelsea were very like a daisical up front. So what do? I don't yank off Liam Delap. I just throw in an extra striker in João Pedro. He did 3 substitutions. João Pedro, Wesley Fofana, and the third was who? I can't seem to recall. But 3 substitutions. And all these 3 people who came in contributed to Chelsea's turn of form. So I think that credit to him yesterday. I think he started well. Apart from the only defeat to Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, he's been able to grind some results.
I want us to touch on Liverpool and Arsenal too, but talk to me about João Pedro's form. Is it good enough?
No, João Pedro is good. The only thing I don't like about him is that he has this bit of inconsistency with him. But I understand where he's coming from because
about 3 or 4 games now, he's
up to now, coaches are still struggling to know
his best position. Is he a 10 or a 9?
Yes. The latest tweet or talk I saw was from Mikel Obi, who says he disagrees with coaches using him as a 10. Because when you look at Brighton, what he was doing at Brighton, he was also
playing off the striker.
Yes, off the striker. There were days that he played as a number 9. But I think his best position, per what I've seen, is to keep him as a 9 for Chelsea now. Because good, you look at him as a 10. He's technically gifted, so he gives you that. He lays lots of passes and runs into the channel. But I think I've never doubted his quality. He showed it right from the FIFA Club World Cup when he was 20, and then again the inconsistency bit showed up again. You know, he went on a run without scoring. So yeah, I think he's decent. He's decent.
Good. Liverpool.
Yeah.
4-1 against Newcastle. Oh. After going 1-0 down. Ekitike, is it a new Torres? I saw a publication on an online portal that said that he's the new Torres.
Charlie, press your my pressure pound.
I swear.
No, but the guy is good.
No, Ekitike is good. But he's good. You see, let's stop putting pressure on this young. Torres has his legacy living and all of that. Allow the young man to be Ekitike. Allow him to play his football. All right. The comparison already started when Isak came in. That why would Liverpool go in for
Isak after buying him?
Ekitike? But I think that he showed his quality into the team. He's almost just like Isak. Just that the only difference with him and Isak is that Isak is slightly taller than him. The way Isak plays his football is the same thing Ekitike
Pucha mentality.
Yes. So I'm happy for him as a young striker because there was so much pressure on him when he came into Liverpool. In fact, people thought that he would struggle, but it's rather Isak that is rather struggling. So I'm not too surprised with what he's doing. Liverpool themselves needed that result. I think the title race is over for them, but they would want to finish in the top 4 or 5, depending on how far the English teams can go in Europe. They want to finish in the top 5 and then play Champions League football next season. So I wasn't too surprised with that scoreline.
We have Republic of Football today?
Yeah. So today we'll have to review the games from Saturday because yesterday we could not. So we'll be live on radio at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay.
On 97.
I have some quick birthdays here. Let me do that quickly. This
Please
one
do.
says, glorious birthday to you, Eliana Boateman Kunim Safo-Dakon of the Lord's Academy School at Kwashiman. May your days on earth be blissful, peaceful, and a lot of strength to be the lady you want to be. From your little sister, Eliora Asida, your class teacher, Sir Joe, your parents, Mr. and Mrs. Safo-Dakon, wishing you the best in everything. Another birthday wish going out to my girl, Gladys Nanekwia Kobina, CEO of Sheena Naturals. God bless you, my darling. We'll link up later today and celebrate as we always do. And another one to Castro Fidel Castro, DJ Castro. Man, mwah. God bless you.
All right. So, thank you very much, Gabby.
Welcome, Jude and Ena.
We'll tune in at
2 p.m.
2 p.m. today on Republic of Football. That's what time will allow us for an exciting show today, right here on Sunday Breakfast, the country's only exciting Sunday morning TV. Right? Yeah.
No debate.
It's not
no
even close.
debate. Like the Gen Zs will say, clack it.
Anyway, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Of course, to our director, our producers, everybody really, our camera crew, are grateful. Catch you same time next week. Bye-bye and be good.